After the World Cup finale between India and Australia, the pitch shifted to politics and diplomacy. The 2+2 dialogue between India and Australia took place this week, with both countries focusing its consensus on the Indo-Pacific region. Here's the story.
India and Australia held their second 2+2 ministerial dialogue this week to step up defence cooperation and strategic ties in sectors such as critical minerals, trade and investment. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Foreign Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar met with Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Richard Marles and Foreign Minister Penny Wong as part of the ministerial dialogue.
This is a partnership which is consequential for us, but it is crucial for our region. We see India, as central, crucial to the sort of region we continue to work for. Peaceful, stable, prosperous, in which sovereignty is respected. And we look forward in this discussion to going further on the ways in which we can both work to deliver that.
When it comes to the 2+2, I'd like to make a few points for our collective consideration. One, that our bilateral relationship has certainly grown rapidly, but that it has larger implications for the region, and a lot of other countries look to us and to our relationship in many ways as a factor of stability and security.
The two sides reiterated their cooperation for an open, inclusive, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific, support for the Pacific-led regional organizations such as the Pacific Islands Forum and island countries in the region under the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent. India and Australia are part of the Quad, a four-nation alliance of US, Japan, Australia and India that was revived in 2017 and is one of the key drivers against China's growing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific region. India is seen as a counterweight to China, both in terms of economy and geopolitics. The India-Australia 2+2 comes shortly after the India-US 2+2 dialogue last week. Apart from the Indo-Pacific, the two sides also discussed the Middle East, Ukraine, trade and investment. India's Minister of Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal, and his Australian counterpart, Don Farrell, met on the 11th of March and announced the formal resumption of negotiation for the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Agreement, CECA, to cover a much wider area of commercial cooperation. In December last year, the two sides signed an economic cooperation and trade agreement to give tariff-free access to each other's goods for nearly 85% products. India is Australia's largest source of skilled migrants and the second largest source of international students. In 2022, India was Australia's sixth largest two-way goods and services trading partner and the fourth largest goods and services export market. Canberra and New Delhi have joined forces to accelerate the production and deployment of renewable energy technologies. The aim is to create new economic opportunities, diversify global clean energy supply chains, and help reduce global emissions. And of course, the talks also came amid India's defeat against Australia in the Cricket World Cup in Ahmedabad.
The team played an amazing game on just the most extraordinary stage. This is the largest cricket ground in the world, completely full. I've never heard noise like it. Those first few Australian wickets where we were getting a bit nervous there, the noise of the crowd was astounding. And actually I spoke to the Australian cricketers afterwards in the dressing room about whether that was something they had heard before. But what's really clear is that for Australian cricket now, India is so familiar. All the players play here in the IPL. They all said they've heard noise like that in various IPL games. Actually, it's their second home in so many ways. And I think that does speak to, through cricket, how the relationship between our two countries has grown so significantly.
India and Australia are not just partners in trade and defence, but also share people-to-people ties with a large Indian diaspora and cricket ties.